This is an update on posting 300 pieces of content in 30 days. And my name is Xeni Slay, I'm a drag artist, event organizer, and in the month of July I decided to post 300 pieces of content in 31 days just to be more consistent with my social media and see where it goes. And we're not gonna talk about why social media is important for a drag artist, okay? Not in this video. So, I saw this challenge by a creator, Donovan Barrett, who was posting 500 pieces of content in 30 days, which is a lot, and I modified it to my situation and did 300 in July. Right now it is July 26. I just had a show yesterday and a photo shoot today. I've been in drag for 13 hours today so far. I mean, I started getting in drag 13 hours ago, and then I had a photo shoot and stuff. And I want to do a little update. So far I posted 189 pieces of content in 26 days, which is close enough, but not exactly. I would hit 300 if I post a bit more than 22 pieces of content for the next of the following days. And even though I have a show there, and I had a show yesterday and there's like quite a lot happening, I don't think that's doable amount of content, so I don't think I'm gonna hit 300 with like quality content, but I'm really proud of myself. So first of all, I started YouTube channel. My first video on my YouTube was posted 11 months ago. Actually, it was a vlog from my trip to Munich for the first time. And since that vlog, I haven't posted anything on YouTube, and right now I am posting and I'm recording multiple videos right now, which is great progress. And I think YouTube is one of the social media platforms that has been consistent over the years. Yes, it might be harder barrier to entry, but it's really good for like social media presence and for just being a little personal journal and for documenting stuff. So I'm really excited that this challenge pushed me to dive more into that platform, as well as I started posting YouTube shorts and more Instagram reels and stuff like that. This earring is kind of, yeah, it's a clip-on, it was falling off. So yeah, this was really nice. And also I started posting more pictures on Instagram, because sometimes after a photo shoot or even after a gig I would have a nice picture and I would just hoard them. I would like don't post them immediately and then like, oh, it needs to line up in the feed, it needs to be this and that. Like, no, this is not the vibe. Yesterday after just a show I had good pictures, posted them today morning. Today I had good pictures, posted them immediately. Like, doesn't matter. And this is really a good approach to have, I think, especially for me, to not overthink it and just let it be out there. I had quite a big follower increase on Instagram. On TikTok, surprisingly not, because usually it's easier to grow on TikTok than it is on Instagram. And I don't know exactly why it happened this way, but I'm super happy for all of new people everywhere and happy you're joining my journey. Yeah, so there is not actually much to say about it. I mean, it's not over yet, but I wanted to have a little video of me talking about it in drag, because when the challenge is gonna be done, I'm not gonna film in drag. Also, what's interesting is that this challenge happened in a pretty busy season of life. So I've had a show each week. We had public viewings for King of Drag, as well as doing my taxes, as well as right now being in Munich, and I was preparing to be in Munich, and I was also having a residency at an art atelier and taking music classes. So a lot was going on, and arguably that could make social media stuff actually easier, because I don't have to pull things to talk about out of my mind and like structure them. I could just talk about what's already happening. But of course it also makes it harder because I barely had time. For few weeks out of July, I was only in my house to sleep. I would come to my home, sleep, go to work, and then after work I would have some type of class or event every single day. Same on the weekends, I wasn't working, but I was going to gym or rehearsals every day, or like workshops and stuff. So for it being such a busy time, and for it being first time for me doing something like that, I'm really proud of myself. And I actually did more than I expected. I kind of expected myself to like fizzle out in the middle of it and just disappear from social media again, but it didn't happen. And I think the part of it was, first of all, how public I was about doing it at all. And yes, I wasn't like constantly updating, but I had this in mind that it's like, okay, I would need to update at the end. And the reason why I wasn't constantly updating is because I don't want my content to be about content. I want my content to be about my art. And talking about content is a part of it because, of course, like it influences me, my social media presence, like who I interact with, what I interact with, what I put out there. Of course, it influences my artistic journey as a drag artist, event organizer, just as person. But also, I don't want my content to become just talking about content creation, you know what I mean? But the other thing why I think it actually worked out and I didn't like stop midway through is because, first of all, doing the artist way, second of all, being in therapy. Even though I'm on a break now with therapy, I've done it from January to July, and a lot of stuff cleared out from my head. It's not even that I had any type of like creative block or fear or anything like that. It was just the patterns of overthinking and holding on too much onto things that are not the right things to hold. So I think just having more leveled head and more clear head also helped a lot with just posting and like being more detached from it. I've heard this phrase like take yourself unseriously but take your art really seriously, and I think that's a great approach also to this. I think it's important to take your art seriously but not take social media seriously, and not take too seriously, don't worry about how your art is being seen. At the beginning of this month, if somebody would have asked me to describe my drag in 3 words, I would have said like acrobatic Ukrainian demon. I would have said Ukrainian sleep paralysis demon, actually. And today, my friends did a vlog with little interviews, and they asked me to tell them 3 words to understand my drag, and my answer was actually, you don't need to understand my drag. People would connect to what they connect to, and it's important for me to just do what's important for me and what I feel like doing. So yeah, this has been my experience with posting so much. I would actually repeat this in August. The thing is, I have my little gadgets for content creation. I have my 2 lights, I have my phone stand, but I really want one of those like magnetic section phone stands that you could pull up on anywhere, and the little microphones. And my stand is like, okay, it's really easily transportable and you could put on any surface, but it needs to be big and stable enough. And I want to have more gadgets because I feel like it's fun and it makes it even easier for me. But I told myself that I would get those gadgets when I do 300 content in 31 days. So I'm gonna continue this in August to dive deeper into like seeing what works, what doesn't, and if it's sustainable to keep it up. Also, at any point, if I don't feel like this is sustainable anymore, I would stop doing it, but it works so far, and August is gonna be a really chill month for me. I only have one show, and it's August 30th, So it's also going to be very interesting to see, like, to edit all of the old videos and to do more like talking and thinking and planning. Planning is another part of it. On the days where I planned, it was much easier to keep up with the amount of content that I promised myself to do. And on the days when I did not have a plan, it was much harder, even if it was a day when I was performing and I had a lot to repost. So yeah, this was my wrap up of 300 content in 31 days, and I will be doing it again and updating you as I do it. Thank you for tuning in and being the part of this journey, and I am Kseni Slay, Ukrainian drag artist in Germany. Stay tuned. Mwah!